Hello everyone and welcome back to another art behind the scenes of Sharon. Today I am doing a doodle piece. I feel like it's very different from what I normally do because I usually do a lot of acrylic gouache with like brush and water, but today I just want to try something different in terms of medium. So I started off with a Sharpie and some mixed media paper. I love using mixed media paper because it's a lot smoother compared to, let's say, cold press watercolor paper, and still has like the good amount of thickness for me to do, like, let's say, acrylic pens, which is what I'm working on today. But before I start, I thought that I will use my Sharpie just to draw the outline, which is completely different from what I usually do for my artwork. I usually do outline at the very end, so this is a very foreign concept to me. However, when I was watching my kids draw, I noticed that they tend to do outline before doing their coloring inside, so maybe I am the odd one out from this process. But anyways, I wanted something easy and something therapeutic, so I grabbed some white mixed media paper, didn't feel as much pressure compared to watercolor paper, and just a Sharpie. Yes, a normal Sharpie, so nothing fancy or like a special marker, but it worked just as well. So I started doing these outlines for these Studio Ghibli characters. I knew that Totoro was going to be in the front and center, but I also love Calcifer from Howl's Moving Castle, so I had Calcifer sitting in Totoro's arm. And here I'm just slowly adding on various characters from the other movies. It's coming together quite nicely, but my vision is to color it in, but I didn't want to use my acrylic wash. I just wanted to try out some acrylic markers that I picked up. Now, this is not like a sponsored video, and I'm just trying out different types of acrylic markers because I do find that the Posca markers, it's a little bit on the pricier end, even though the quality is great. But I just want to try to see what would be like a student level or something that my kids can play around with before spending too much money on getting the full color range of acrylic markers from Posca. So to start off, I'm using my Sharpie. This is something that is very easy to do. You can do it with your artwork or like with kids or adults. I don't think it's restricted in terms of age range, but just grab some paper and just use a Sharpie to draw an outline. From there, I thought about what colors I want to do. I didn't want to use like the full color palette. I want to limit my color palette because I think it will give a completely different vibe for the artwork if I restrict my color palette, and it will give a different sense of magic, and like I think the audience will feel something different. I know for myself, I love the idea of using warmer colors, but honestly, I am a cooler color girl. You see that I use a lot of cooler blues, purples, and cooler tones in general. It's just my happy place, despite me wanting to be a warm person. Slowing it down, just want to show you how it's looking like as I'm drawing in the marker artwork. At this point, I feel like it's been a good maybe like 20-30 minutes. Unfortunately, it's really hard for me to figure out like a good time frame for my artwork because I usually just get like 5-10 minutes here and then like would take a break, hang out with my kids, do other things, and then come back and do other parts of the artwork and come back. So this is great because for Sharpie and these mixed media paper, I can stop and start wherever and whenever I want. So here, slowing it down just to show you the different characters that I'm adding on. Next, I'll use my acrylic markers. Now, the reason I use mixed media is because I find that if I use sketching paper, acrylic markers might, I don't know, I just feel like acrylic markers are a little bit more wet. And I'm worried about the paper bending, and I know that mixed media paper is a bit thicker. And I know that this would not be an issue if I was to do it on this type of paper, as opposed to watercolor paper as well is another option, but watercolor paper is quite expensive. So I thought, why not? Let's try this out. So using my black marker from Sharpie, and for the black marker, I think I have a fine tip in case anyone's curious, but you could use a finer tip marker if you would like. If you've gotten this far in the video so far, I would appreciate it very much if you would consider giving this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for considering, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this coloring process. You can see I got my color markers on the side. I have restricted my color scheme to limit like a certain palette with a limited number of colors and I'm just going to color it in. I might not have the exact matching color for, let's say, their clothes or like their hair, and I might substitute it with something that is similar. But let's see what happens. My idea is that Calcifer is going to be the light, the flame that lights up this artwork, and then it's going to light up colors for a portion of the characters in this like selfie or in this piece of artwork, whereas the rest is going to be left in the black and white outline. So let's see how this turns out. So there you have it. Here's my wrapped up piece. You can see Calcifer is the light, the ray that really shines color onto the rest of the piece. It's almost like it's glowing in the dark a little bit. This is called Kindled Magic. I certainly really enjoy doing this project. I might do it again, just with like a different color scheme or different characters. But overall, I was really happy with how this piece turned out, and it was so easy and so fun to draw. I even used my Sakura Jelly Roll ink marker, the white one, just to add some outlines at the end. Don't know if I overdid it, but that's it. I'm done. I hope you enjoy this art time lapse and this art drawing process, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and stay creative, everyone. Bye for now.